Hey everybody, it's Mike. Good morning, Friday morning. Final day of Well-Being Week in Law. Final day of every week, no matter what week you're celebrating this week. But I'm here to talk about Well-Being Week in Law. So today's theme is emotional intelligence, emotional IQ, and how our emotional intelligence factors into impacts our overall well-being. Caveat, I'm no expert, no counselor, no therapist, no nothing. But the Institute for Well-Being in Law has put out some great material that I was able to read. I've read some on this topic before in a different context, and I'm able to share with you some things that I've read and some tips. I'm going to do so by resorting to a construct I used to use when I was coaching basketball. So I've got my trusty dry erase board to make a few points today. First, what is emotional IQ, emotional intelligence? What are we talking about? Well, very 50,000 foot view, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your emotions and understand that your emotions are going to have an impact on you and how you act. And today I'm going to focus on the importance of recognizing negative emotions and understanding that negative things happen, and that what's important isn't that they happen necessarily, but how you respond to them. First, one of the things I've learned is that higher levels of emotional intelligence or higher levels of emotional IQ are associated with not only improved well-being, but being better at communication, being better at time management, and being better at conflict resolution. And that's all people. If you think about it, good communication, good time management, good conflict resolution, three key traits for lawyers to have. So even if you're not into wellness and improving your well-being, all that stuff, understanding how emotional intelligence and emotional IQ and responding to your emotions can help you be a better communicator, better at time management, and better at conflict resolution, may help you be a better lawyer. So there's that. Okay, so first point, bad things are going to happen. Negative things happen all the time. We cannot live in a world full of rainbows and unicorns, right, Judge? So we have to understand that I'm feeling negative. I'm having a negative response right now, or negative emotions. And the key to an improved emotional IQ is controlling your response to those emotions. So that's where the basketball comes in. I used to use a phrase called WIN with the players. It doesn't stand for winning the game. It stands for what's important now. And here's an example. Negative emotions impact everybody, including high school basketball players. So for instance, imagine a kid playing in a game who takes a shot, clearly gets fouled, which causes the shot not to go in, but the referee doesn't call a foul. The kid experiences a negative emotion, a negative response. The kid has a couple choices, and what we wanted the kids to remember making that choice is WIN, which is, sorry about that. What's important now? And what's important now is not yelling at the referee or begging for the coach to yell at the referee or standing there sulking. What's important now is moving on to the next play, running back and playing defense. So the kid can't control the fact that the referee missed the call. The kid can't control the fact that it caused a negative reaction emotionally. The kid can control what the kid does next, and that's what's important now. And I think that's an aspect of, or relates to, emotional intelligence. So for instance, in the law, you can't control opposing counsel and how they treat you. You can't control the client who calls and yells at you. You can't control, a lot of different things that cause negative responses. But what you can always control is your reaction to those responses. So I think that's what I want lawyers to focus on, people in the legal profession to focus on. That, yeah, bad things are going to happen in the nature of the practice or in the nature of this profession. What's not important is lashing back out at the people who make us feel bad. What is important is recognizing that bad things happen and recognizing that we can control our response there too. Short aside, I want to be very clear. I'm talking about sort of short term, the occasional negative reaction or the negative emotion. If you're someone who's constantly feeling this way, constantly feeling stress, anxiety, burned out, that's okay, and help's available, and that's okay to ask for help. So if this is something constant in your life, reach out to me or reach out to Josh Simons, and we will get you the help, and it's okay to ask. So back to emotional IQ and what's important now. 2 more points. First, read a great article a couple of years ago. I've linked to it in the blog today. I'm drawing a blank right now on the person who wrote it, but it's fantastic. My dad's wife sent it to me, and the article was about your 3 feet of influence. And I can use a basketball construct for there. Like, imagine that the basketball court is life. It's everything that's going on in life. And the circle at center court, where they have the jump ball to start the game, that's a tiny little circle compared to life. And imagine this is you, and you're in the circle, and this is life going on around you, the rest of the court. What the author wrote about was that we can't control who comes into our 3 feet or 3 foot circle, but we can always control how we respond to the people who come into our circle. And the author talked about winning your 3 feet of influence. And the author used winning in the traditional term, winning, like winning a game. I like to combine the 2 concepts. What's important now is how we react to the people, even if they bring negativity into our 3 foot circle. What's important now is how we respond to them. And that's, I think, a way we can win our 3 feet of influence, by recognizing the negative emotion, controlling our response there too, and responding appropriately. And then final point, combines both the short term and the long term of negative emotions. People who have constant negative emotions, and it's okay to get help. It really is. The help is, part of it is the professionals will try to tell them that they have to find positives in every, whether it's every encounter, life overall, whatever. And that you need multiple positives, 3 to 4 to 5, to counter every negative. You can't just, balance them out. So think about it. When somebody brings negativity into your 3 feet, what's important now is your response. And that helps, if you respond appropriately, that helps your own well-being, higher emotional IQ. But think about it this way too. It also helps that person who's brought negativity into your 3 feet, your 3 foot circle. You might be, with a response that reflects a high level of emotional intelligence, you might be one of the 3, 4, or 5 things that they need to counterbalance the negative that's going on with them. So just a way to get multiple benefits out of a high emotional IQ. Those are my thoughts for the day. Check out all the material in the blog. We're going to get together at noon. There's a link in the blog as well to the meeting. Just share thoughts on emotional intelligence and anything else that pops up. The discussions have been great. Please feel free to join. Have a great morning, and maybe we'll talk to you later.